Hello dear students, hearty greetings to this class. Today we are going to deal with the sixth lesson given in our supplementary book Mixtures. The name of the lesson is On the Face of It, written by Susan Hill. This is a very sensitive lesson which will not only help us in our examination but also enrich our life skill forever. Let us start. Dear student, for our better understanding, we have kept these aspects for you. First, a motivational video will be displayed and it will enable you to connect with this lesson. Next, we shall be watching and viewing the previous year board questions. You might be thinking why our teacher is going to display the board questions first before teaching the lesson. The only reason is when we shall view the board questions, what will happen? The questions will be programming in our mind and we'll be seeking for the response. We'll be searching for the answers and which will really help you understanding the remaining proceeding of this class. Then we shall be dealing with the life and biography of the author in brief, followed by the title justification, why the title on the face of it is justified by the author through our discussion and understanding. Next, dear student, the prime elements of this lesson, the characters. There are two major characters. One is a teenager, Danny. Another one is an old man who is also a disabled one. The two characters, they have confronted, they have interacted, and their conversation is quite meaningful in this lesson. Then we shall be dealing with the theme of the lesson, that is the chain of events, chain of incident which have taken place in this lesson. We shall discuss it, those in sequence. Then there is a major problem addressed by the author in this story, and that problem is existed in both the characters, and the author has also provided the solution. So we shall be dealing with the solution which is given in the story. Then eventually we have the important questions for you, and we shall be discussing those questions and how to write the answer also. I may offer you the tips. Then student, the concluding part, message for life, means this lesson has a very deep moral for all the readers, and that message will be unfolded at the end for you, for me, because literature is not only for our examination but also for our life. Let us move to a motivational video I have kept for you so that you can connect yourself with this lesson. Please watch this video very sensitively, carefully, and attentively. Dear students, in this sort of video clip, we have witnessed that our Isma suffered a lot in her life, undergoing into a haunting depression, but due to an extended hand who assisted her to climb into the ladder of success, mingling with mainstream, Reshma able to succeed and she ultimately succeed. Now, if we meet any deformed people around us, what to do? We need to extend our assistance so that he may be able to cope up in his life. This clip may enable us to connect ourselves with this solution from the examination point of view and from the life point of view. Let us move to the next part where we shall be glancing the previous year's board questions. CBSE PYQ means previous year's question. E, question number 9E. This is a 3 markers question. CBSE 2018 it was asked. Why does Derry's mother not want him to go back to visit Mr. Lamb? Why does Derry's mother not want him to go back to visit Mr. Lamb? 3 markers question. In the year 2019, CBSE outside Delhi is asked D, in inverted comma means this is statement. It ate my face off. It ate me off. Who said these words? Why? This question does have 2 parts. This is the first part. Who said these words means who is the speaker of this statement. Second part, why? In which situation, in which condition, in which scenario this statement has been uttered by the speaker. You have to make 2 paragraphs. Then D, again in the year 2017, CBSE outside Delhi, this is asked. What does Mr. Lamb teach Derry from his exploring the 2 types of sounds of the beach? This is also 3 markers question. What does Mr. Lamb teach Derry from his exploring the 2 types of sounds of the beach? This is that. And in the year 2020, no question asked. That means this year 2021, it is most probable that question will be set from this relation. So please do digest this relation very sincerely so that you will leave no stone unturned for the examination. Let us move forward. Dear student, as per our outlines, about the author Susan Hill, this is her picture, very smart and very sensitive writer because she has projected the socio-psychological aspect of human life in her writings, and she has been conferred with Somerset Maugham Award in the year 1971 for these books, The Men in Black and The Mist in the Mirror, very famous, internationally acknowledged books. She was born in the year 1942 on 5th February. This is all about the author, and in this relation also she has very beautifully and very carefully projected the socio-psychological reality in the story, how the human beings, the mankind, react to the deformed people and what should be the message for them. This lesson is all about these 2 aspects, how the deformed people live and how the others react to them, and there is a solution given by this very author Susan here. Next, the title justification. Student, the title, as you know, on the face of it, it means outwardly, on the surface. Let us see the points I have kept for you. A socio-psychological story of two invalids. Invalids means disabled, deformed, who live with two different views. The two characters we meet in this play, they are contrast to each other, opposite to each other, in terms of their views, in terms of their opinions of life, in terms of their philosophy of life. Derry is a young boy who lived a miserable life since a bottle of acid deformed his face. This is not an acid attack, but this case, his half part of his face is burnt due to acid. Don't confuse yourself that this is an acid attack. No, there is no reference of that. But the face has been burnt due to acid. Mr. Lamb, another character, a lame man, old man who lived a cheerful life even after he had lost one of his legs in a bomb blast. He has lost in a war. He has lost one of his legs, and now he is a lame man. One leg is not there in his life anymore. On the face of it, the title, you see, the last point, a happy man, although he appeared to be, on the face of it, outwardly. Lamb appears to be a happy man, but it might be on the surface. It might be his external view. It might be his external appearance, like in the lesson. One of the poems we have, the first poem on My Mother at 66. When Kamala Das was there in the airport and she has already entered into that check-in part, and after the security check, looking back to her mother, she was smiling. That smile is not the genuine smile, that was external. She had the internal pain in her life. Okay, in the same way, on the face of it means appearance is deceptive, and this statement is quoted by William Shakespeare, one of the master artists in the field of literature. Appearance is deceptive. A person might be looking very happy, but he might be very sad within. So this is all about the justification of the title and quite opt. Now let us meet the characters. Let us acquaint ourselves with these two major characters. First of all, Derry. Derry was a teenager, a highly pessimistic and withdrawn from the mainstream society. Dear student, I have told you, Derry, he has a burnt face, half burnt face. One part of his face is totally burnt. It looks extremely horrible. It looks very dangerous. Means normally the people, they don't like to view or look at such faces. They dislike or they fear or they frighten. That's why at the same time this young boy was very passive and hopeless, very pessimistic, hopeless in life, because he doesn't have any friends, he doesn't have any acquaintances in his life. So this is what Derry's life is. Then Mr. Lamb, on the other hand, just the contrast, just the opposite. An old man with a leg, with a lame leg, since he was lame, but leads a happy life with happy philosophy of life. Another deformed person. He has lost his leg, but still he is living a happy life. His philosophy of life is quite positive and optimistic, opposite of pessimistic. How it happens? Next, in the next part. we will be able to know how Mr. Lamb deals with his life very positively and optimistically. Let us see the next part. Here, as I have introduced you, this lesson deals with a loss and sense of isolation. This is for one character, Derek. He has lost his appearance and has become isolated, has become rejected. Now he is living a very solitude life, living in solitary, because he doesn't have any friends, he doesn't have any companions, even his own parents have rejected him. He has been disliked by all, and now he dislikes himself because he is disliked by all. On the other hand, we meet a character who is very challenging in nature, although he has also lost one of his legs. This old man tries to show, tries his level best to convince Terry that positivity is the only way to live in. Dear student, for you, we have made these 17 points for our better understanding. We have got 3 scenes in this play: first scene, second scene, and third scene. In the first scene, major events have taken place. First scene, major events have taken place. In the second and third scene, only 2 to 3 events are there. So the major part is this first scene. Let us start the story in sequence. First, Derek, this disfigured boy, this half-burnt fish boy, is living a very isolated and lonely life, a solitude life. He is living a life haunting with depression. Now one day, point number one day he tries to enter into Lamb's garden, believing that there is no one in the garden. The garden seems lonely and empty. He enters jumping the boundary wall. But for his shock, he was shocked when he hears the sound of the owner, Mr. Lamb, asking him, be careful for the crab apples. Now he feels embarrassed. He feels guilty of himself because he believes that there is no one here inside the garden. But when he confronts a man speaking to him, then he feels embarrassed and he wants to leave immediately. He wants to depart from the garden immediately. But Mr. Lamb, as mentioned in point number 3, Mr. Lamb tries his level best to convince and insist him, don't leave for me. My my gate is always open for you. Stay with me, talk to me, interact with me. Now, Danny says, actually, I have a half-burnt face. I have an half-burnt face. And it is not that I fear. People around me, they fear looking at me. That's why I want to leave. And he has also added one more statement, acid at his face. And he has been eaten out. Means his entire life has been spoiled, has been killed, has been damaged due to acid. Don't confuse with acid attack. This is not a case of acid attack. It is simply an incident with acid where His half part of face has been totally disfigured due to acid. Now people fear, people frightened by looking at him. They never mingle with him. Then Mr. Lamb tries to convince him there is a different approach to life which may give the solution to you. He showed him. He showed him the halves and the widths, and he tries to convince him. He tries to tell him that the two plants, two varieties of plants are different by the viewers, by the people, but both are similar. Both have green leaves, both are having lives, both provide oxygen to us. But we differentiate. We have to take the good one and reject the rest. But both are similar. You and me are similar. But Terry, he reacts in a different way because he has a different kind of view for his life. He says we are different. But he says no, the problem is same. The way of life is different. Further, Mr. Lamb tries to tell him that, point number 7, when I go outside, the children used to tease me by telling, lammy lamb, lammy lamb. But I don't mind. You have to ignore. That is the way of life, that is one of the tips of life for such deformed people. By citing the harp and wits, he also told the same thing. He tries to make him understood the thing. Derry also further advised him to wear the trousers so that he can hide his damaged leg or thin leg. But he said, no, I should not be too much sensitive for my deformity. Otherwise, I cannot live. I will be helpless. It is the people who has to correct their mindset. So he rejected the advice of wearing trouser always. Lamb further says this statement, handsome is as handsome does. Handsomeness or the beautiful face or the beautiful thing, it is not the external thing only. A handsome man or handsome boy will be recognized as handsome only when he has the handsome deeds or works or actions. Means a student will be called handsome not only by his external looks but by his study, by his scoring, by his result. In the extension of his interaction or expansion, he further cites an example of a story of Beauty and Beast. In this story, he says there is a very beautiful girl, exceptionally beautiful girl. She falls in love with a beast, a monstrous beast, and in love, she kisses the beast. The girl, the beautiful girl, kisses the beast. Then what happens? A miracle happens. A miracle happens there that the beast has been converted into a very handsome prince. This means by the love and compassion of others, the deformed one has been changed. That was the gist of the story. In response to the story narrated by Mr. Lamb, Beauty and Beast, Jerry replied, that it is an impossible fictitious story. In practice, it never happens. No one likes me. No one likes me. Forget about others. Even my mother, even my mother, she kisses me on the good side of my face. She never kiss. She never kiss on the damaged side of my cheek. Then imagine, the story has no connection with me. That was the reply of Davy. Then he also added few more severe realities, severe events or incident that has taken place in his life. That one day, in point number 11, one day, Davy was in the bus stop. A woman saw Davy, and she reacted and she told to another woman that, oh, how horrible the face of this boy is. No one can love him. Only his mother could love him. Then you see, he also added that even one day he overheard the conversation of his parents with his relatives, that after our death, parents were telling, after our death, our child Jerry will not be able to survive. Means these statements or these comments have broken his heart, has broken his spirit. Yes, it's correct. Others comments, parents comment, if it is quite negative, it demoralizes. It demoralizes the young. Sometimes we find the parents in our normal life, they put harsh comment upon the students. So this is a life lesson for us. But Mr. Lamb has promised himself, perhaps he has promised himself that anyhow I will try to show a positive path to this boy, Derek. Then in point number 12, as it mentioned noise or music, he cited a very good example. In his garden, there is beehives. The bees, they make buzzing sound. If the audience, if the audience believe that it is a music, then it is enjoyable for them. If they believe it is a noise, then it is an irritation for them. It is an irritation for them. So how should we take the comments? How should we digest the comments being posted by others? We have to ignore the negative comments and we have to make ourselves solid and concrete, like Hercules, stand in the adversity. So he says, Mr. Lamsey, he believes that the buzzing sound of the beehives in my garden, I treat them, I take them, I consider them as the music, and the song for me, the song is floating in the air. Then I absorb those songs and I restore those in my heart, and I enjoy the life. Then he also shared one more story, locked man story, point number 13, locked man story. He says, if your parents, your relatives, they try to lock you inside your room, they try to confine you inside a room or a house, then it will not provide you any kind of happiness. Yes, it is not a solution. Because in the story, he told about a man who fears for many things. He fears that if donkey will kick him, he will die. Any man may kill me. My girlfriend may go away, may elope with any other. Then how can I live? He fears for many things. It means like a phobia. Then to get rid of such fears, he confined himself inside the room. But what happened? A picture fell on him, and that terrorized in him, and he died. Means destiny is something you cannot alter, you cannot change. You cannot change that. So if you confine yourself inside a restricted room, still it has no solution. It is advised by Mr. Lamb to Terry. And perhaps up to this point, Derry has convinced a lot. He believes that I have met an amazing person first time. Someone who shares his life account with me. He tries to encourage me. He tries to inspire me. First time he has met such a man, such an amazing man, such an amazing character, such an amazing personality, and he has started liking this person. Otherwise, he has he has a strong dislike for others. In point number 14, as mentioned, now Derry inquires about Mr. Lamb's activities, and he says that I used to read the books. I spend time with this nature, with the garden. The garden is my world and everything. I have many friends, but he is unable to tell even a single name. Whether he has friends or not, we don't know. But he said, I have friends. But there might be a deepest pain that no one tries to make friendship with him also. Maybe he says his activity, he spent a lot of time, his doors and windows, curtains are wide open always. Then they discuss our friendship and strangers. According to Mr. Lamb, there are no strangers, and strangers are not enemies. But according to Mr. Derry, the young boy Derry, because he has met such people in his life, all are quite against to him, so he doesn't believe in friendship, and he believes that they are normal people, they don't have any sentiment for me. Then point number 16, a very strong statement, and this has been told by Mr. Len. You should not have hatred for the stranger. Hatred is much more harmful than the acid. He told hatred means a sense of hatred towards others, a disliking towards others. Means it will kill you from inside, and it is much more dangerous than acid. Question may be framed from this point, from this statement. How hatred is much more dangerous and harmful in comparison to acid. Yes, acid may kill one part, maybe external part, but hatred, this quality, this abstract quality may damage us from. Now, Mr. Lamb tries to take the help of Derry. He requests Derry that he is not able to pluck down the fruits, crab apples from the trees. That's why he wants the assistance of Derry in plucking the fruits. Derry agreed with his request, but he told, as mentioned in point number 17, I have not informed to my mother, and she will be worried. So allow me to inform her first. Then I shall definitely come back for your assistance. With that condition, Lamb agrees, okay, dear boy, you go back and please do come back to help me. Then he goes, and the first scene is completed here. So let us see what happens in second scene in the home of Derry. How he is able to convince his mother or not. In scene 2, this is the home of, the location is Derry's home, where Derry requests his mother to allow him to rejoin Mr. Lamb in his garden. But mother has serious and severe objection. She says, no, you are not allowed. He is not a good man. I have heard about him. He is not a good man, my dear sir. Don't insist me for permission. But son was desperately willing to join the company of Mr. Lamb to fulfill his promise. Then he sees this statement as mentioned here in second arrow. I will never go anywhere into this world again. Means this is a statement where he says that if you don't permit me, I will never step forward from my threshold anymore. Means he says I will be cut off from the rest of the world forever. Means he has a desperate, irresistible willingness to meet Mr. Lamb, who has shown him a path that was unprecedented for him. No one has ever advised him. No one has ever shown him the positive path of life. First thing, he has got a friend, Mr. Lamb, in his life, so he wants to join him. Then, obviously, third point or the last point of Sindhu, he goes away, rushes away to the garden. Then, scene third starts. It is very shocking and very emotional, hair-raising part where already Mr. Lamb has tried to collect the crab apples from the tree, and he has fallen down from the ladder, and he was freezed. He was motionless. Derry finds Lamb fallen beside the bed. He was motionless. He tries to ask him what happened, what happened, what happened. Talk to me, talk to me. But everything goes in hand. Perhaps, it's not, perhaps he was no more. Believing that he is dead, Jerry cries and weeps, and loudly he shouted in lament, in condolence, and weeps. Means the departure, permanent departure of this legend for him, a Mashiach for him. He weeps and perhaps that sadness, that grief will be permanent in his life. In this way, the story, the play, three scenes are completed. Let us move to the next part. The student problems are addressed. Problem of theory, problem of solution for such deformed people. Solution for the deformed people, as addressed by the author Susan Hill, very sensitively she has advised here. Forget your deformity before forget that. Means Lamb has advised that if you don't forget or ignore your deformity, then others will try to add more salt in the wound. Then is it hatred is more harmful than is it? Okay, we have discussed, but dual suffering, as I have mentioned here for you. Dual suffering is if there is any deformity, you are in pain, you are sad, you have lost something. At the same time, the detachment of the society make you isolate, make you separate, they boycott you. This is the two way. One, you are suffering for pain, suffering for the deformity, suffering for the loss. At the same time, when society detach you, isolate you, it is a dual suffering for such people. In general, this is message. Life is a gift of Almighty. Don't ruin it for others. If others have the negative perception for you, then please avoid them to have your own life. Because for others, don't kill your life, don't suspend your life. Okay, as I had promised you that after the lesson is taught, we shall revisit the previous year questions. Now I think you will be delighted, happy, and feeling strong to respond to the questions in front of you. Why does today's mother not want him to go back to visit Mr. Lamb? When Devi seeks the permission to visit Mr. Lamb, what is the reason? Mother had the negative perception about Mr. Lamb. She doesn't want that her son could ever mingle with others because others may be frightened. Due to these reasons, she doesn't permit to visit Mr. Lamb. You can add few more points are also there. I think you could able to write that. Then second question, it at my face, it at me off. This statement has been told in agony by daily to Mr. Lamb in why question why second part you have to respond. His entire life has been spoiled. He started disliking his life. No one tries to be friendly with him. Everything you can write. How he has been associated, how he is in haunting depression. Then the final question, what does Mr. Lamb teach daily from his exploring two types of sounds of speech? Okay, I have discussed whether it is a music or it is watching sound, noise or music. So it has been explained. I think you can deal with the questions. And again, I must repeat, in the year 2020, means last year, no question was said from this lesson. Means this year, most probably, question will be said from this lesson, and I think you are ready to respond to questions. Then different questions for you, and I will discuss very briefly. Okay, due to the scarcity of time, you know that. What is it that draws Derek towards Mr. Lamb in spite of himself? What are the attractive qualities that attract Derek towards Mr. Lamb? Okay, you know, he's the only person who trusts his soul, trusts his heart, and what are the qualities? He's the only person who has become the source of inspiration, so the path of light, how to live in an optimistic manner. Second, in his section of the play, Mr. Lamb displays sign of loneliness, disappointment. What are the ways in which Mr. Lamb tries to overcome these feelings? Okay, he shares these things that people are children basically. They tease him, lament him, but no one tries to make friendship with him. He has healed his emotions. Because he told, I have many friends, hundreds of friends, but uh, he's only able to tell even a single name. I will religion. And he is helpless, he's blocking the fruits, and he wants the assistance of the next person. The actual pain or inconvenience caused by physical impairment is often much less than the sense of alienation, means isolation, felt by the person with disability. What is the kind of behavior that person expects from us? Okay, a disabled person, a deformed person, a disfigured person is living a terrible life when he is isolated. So what he expects, what he wants from us? Does he want compassion? Does he want sympathy? Does he want friendship? Okay, right. So what does Mr. Lamb teach derived from the story of the overcautious man who had locked himself up in it? Okay, the locked man's story, who is cautious, quite cautious about what happens if he goes out, but inside he does. You can write few more questions for you. Or just they say that suppose you don't be able to write in the speed I play the track. You pause it, write down the question, write down the answer, and send to us so that you can evaluate those, assess your answer. Or it just Jerry say that he would never go out to the world if he didn't go to Mr. Lamb. Okay, you know that. But does Daisy go back to Mr. Lamb in the end? Almost similar. Do you think Mr. Lamb really had a lot of friends? Explain. Okay, which reason you have to explain? Question number 8, last one. Both Mr. Lamb and Jerry had much to suffer, yet Jerry was the worst affected. Explain. Okay. It is your take. That's how you approach. You have the difficulty, accept that. But would you surrender? Would you surrender? Or would you go further? Surrender is not the solution. Confront and march forward. So those who don't march forward, they have the problem. Like there is the problem. So how is the acceptance of reality going forward? Okay, you have to deal with that. And message for life. The literature has the amazing power to give us the powerful message which will be written and restored and conserved by us forever in life. Creator has created this creation creatively, amazing creation God has created. But we the mundane means earthly men, spirit in the past form is also spirit. The dart of discrimination among them. God has created everyone equally, believe that. But we discriminate each other. That is, we have to mind that, we have to fight that. All of them are created by God, and all of them need to live and grow together with love and mutual acceptance and respect. Yes, if someone is deformed, don't dislike him. He is also created by God. If you dislike him, God will dislike him because it is his creation. Finally, the student, I conclude this session with this note, with this quote: "Every cloud has a silver lining." This is a famous English quote. It means adversity exists for a moment, for a duration, but it will be vanished. It will go away to provide, to bring a new shining morning into our life. Sensing the COVID-19 situation that entered nation and world is suffering from. That's why we are interacting now online. No offline class is able to be conducted. So in this situation, we are bound to take these online classes. You must cooperate us. Okay, and hope, this line says hope for a better money, and believe that a silver lining is there in the cloud. Similarly, there will be a ray of hope. There will be a new money, a new way for us. Thank you. I think you have understood the lesson quite well. We shall definitely meet with a new lesson. Bye bye. Take care.